A long time ago, this was how I thought I would get a really flat, straight transom with lots of hard work, lots of bog, and lots of sanding. I tried many different techniques. Massive straight edges, sand that off. Making pads like a concreter does. Ooh man, that looks terrible. Then filling the gaps in with bog in between the pads. Nah, epoxy resin loves to sag, no matter how good you mix it. Or for me anyway. Sand that off too, Michael, you stupid idiot. It did get flatter and flatter. What does it look like?
Chocolate mousse.
Does it taste like chocolate mousse?
No.
I'll let you find out.
I want to do a wee like in the garage.
By the end of this video, you'll be as smart as the new Micington. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If something's too hard, you're doing it wrong. It's taken me lots of doing wrongs to get this far. Learn from my mistakes, or at least have a laugh while you watch this idiot make the best Bertram on the planet. I can show you that you can get the transom flat, glassed, everything nearly completely done in one day. But first I'm going to take you back to where we left off. I'd really appreciate it if you gave me the thumbs up and made a comment. I really need the encouragement. They're glued in now. It's the next day. Grinding time. All of that work is for the actuators that will lift the roof up and down. I always make sure I smooth off the fillets with a wet paintbrush as soon as I put them on, because you never know when you're going to get back to it. It might already go off by the time you get your glass on. I pre-wet the fiberglass before I put it on. It makes it a lot easier. Got an idea I should have done it ages ago, but I didn't really know about it until now. I'm just gonna make the transom in one flat sheet out of that, the same way I've been doing everything lately, just making it on the melamine, grinding it up, and then epoxy gluing it to here. It'll instantly be flat and heaps of fiberglass and less sanding, which is the best thing about it. My next problem is cutting this. I've got no space, so I'm gonna cut it there. I extended these bits just in case I want to try to make the 90-degree bend or whatever bend it is, so I can wrap that fiberglass at the same time. And that will also help me squash it onto the transom. I'm very aware that this transom is going to be the thickest transom on the planet because It's already got the old skin under it. Then it's got this. Then I went too thick with the Coosa. And then I went more fiberglass inside. I had to recess the stern drive last time. Now, how am I going to get it to stay there? Put these on to help me hold it, and I'm also going to wrap fiberglass there. So I've spaced this up about 4 mil because that's how much thickness I think that I'll add with the fiberglass and a little bit of gel coat. It looks pretty good. Everything's cut, ready to go in. Just need to wax this up a little bit, then I'll put gel coat on it, then I'll wait for that to tack off and I'll put the fiberglass on. This here helps me hold it into place, and it will also ensure that this bit here is fiberglass as well, not just bog. And it will be nice and flat here as well. I've used the laser to measure up this. These are for when I fiberglass it, I'll screw it in so it forces the fiberglass to bend in the 90-degree bend. And I use melamine on all of the edges that will maybe potentially see fiberglass. I ended up not using these. I think the radius I got there is going to be good enough because I'll probably end up doing a very short radius curve on there with the router, so that should be fine. I did 3 coats of gel coat, all different colours. I went grey, greyish blue and then white, so I know how far I'm sanding. And then I waited for all of it to tack off between each layer. And then I used vinyl ester resin with 2 layers of chop strand mat, 450 gram, and 1 biaxial or triaxial woven rovens, which is like a medium woven rovens. Now I'll wait for this to tack off, then smear epoxy resin all over it, and I'll put epoxy resin all over the transom as well, and then I'll mate them both together, and I'll probably use some of that wood and then screw through the transom, through the wood, through the MDF and through the fiberglass, and then I'll just repair those holes later. But I'm going to use the wood so it doesn't indent it where I screw it in, because it's going to take a lot of pressure to get that amount of surface area to mate up good, I'm thinking. And that's what I try to do, a bit of thinking. I've got the boat lowered down now because I'm trying to get inside the toilet area done while I wait for it to cure. I love my boat hoist. I just trimmed all of the excess fiberglass off with a Stanley knife. That's how hot this still is. And then I just ground it for good luck. So it's going to have a chemical and mechanical bond to that. I do not want this to come off. I'm hoping that I don't have to fiberglass from here onto the good flat sheet of fiberglass. So I'm just going to brace this up with that wood, so then when I screw all this on, when it's all glued on, it won't make any indents. Okay, I'm happy with that now. So I'm going to put some batten screws through here. I forgot to say I matched up what I was going to be on this depth pretty good because it's lined up pretty good around here. You can see this one's going to have a lot of bog in it. This one is also going to have lots of bog in it. It's just easier to make it a near 90 degree. It was a bit of dicking around to get this and this to end up at the same height from there to here. But the bit of time that it took to dick around was well worth it. That'll mean less sanding, and I love not sanding. The wood grain transom looks pretty nice. Maybe I should keep it like that. You can't really tell, but I'm actually working like a mad dog right now. I skip all the times where I'm mixing the bog, which is about 900 grams every mix, and I use the scales to get my mixes right, which is way more effective than going off the measuring cups. I'd say I mixed about 3 litres of epoxy to get this done, and I probably had 500 grams drop out. And then the battery went flat on the camera. Everything up to now is on the same day. So I'm pretty happy with how things turned out.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've got cloth tape holding all of the resin in so it doesn't ooze out, because epoxy resin loves to ooze. I'm gonna have some grinding after this, but I can't wait to crack it off. Can you wait for it to crack off?
I can't wait.
Oh man, I hope it cracks off easy. I hope it works out perfect. I need a win. How cute does that look? So cute. It's the next day. Let's see how this thing cracks off. Please let it be straight. And it worked perfectly, as you can see. Oh my God, I'm so happy. That is instantly as flat as a sheet of glass. That is a really quick way. I spent weeks. I've got to trim all around here and on the other side as well. That looks like it finished in the same spot. That's just cleaned up with a 5-inch grinder and a bit with a die grinder in here. And then I've die grinded all of the little pit holes. When I drilled all these, they seem like they're all glue all the way through. So I'm very impressed. She ain't coming off. And now it's really starting to look like a new boat to me. I made a template from a picture because I've got an idea for my stern drive.